Fine. Now I will go ahead with the second module. Module 2. Where we'll be studying about field effect transistors and silicon controlled rectifier. Okay, in this module we'll be studying about field effect transistor and silicon controlled rectifier. Okay, so coming to the transistor. Okay, transistor is a three-terminal device. Transistor is a three-terminal device. Three-terminal device. Okay, so it is a three-terminal device. It means that it will have three terminals. Three terminals will be there. Okay, so and again these transistors are divided into two types: bipolar junction transistors and field effect transistors. Bipolar junction transistors, in the sense, it is also said to be BJT. Okay, bipolar junction transistor. Even that is a three-terminal device only, but its structure will be in this way. It will have emitter, base, collector. These are the three terminals of your BJT. BJT is bipolar junction transistor. So even this will be used, this is made up of your PN type materials only, but it will be like this. PNP. Okay, PNP. The N-type material will be sandwiched between two P-type materials. This is how the bipolar junction transistor is designed. Okay, so it will have two P layers on both the sides. Okay, and N-type semiconductor material will be sandwiched between these two two P-type materials. Okay, so this is your emitter, base, collector. This is said to be PNP transistor. Okay, or you will have another transistor named as NPN transistor. The difference between this one and this one is here between two P-type materials, N-type material is sandwiched. Here between two N-type materials, P-type material is sandwiched. Okay, so this is your emitter, base, collector. Okay, so this whatever I have represented here, it is NPN transistor. Okay, coming to the PNP transistor. So this is your NPN transistor. PNP transistor, same, it will have the three terminals only, but this arrowhead here, if you observe, the arrowhead will be outside, but here if you observe, the arrowhead will be inside. This is your emitter, whichever will have the arrow, that is said to be your emitter. Okay, let me just draw it once again. Whichever is having arrowhead, that is your emitter. The center one will be base and the left out will be the collector. And this is your PNP transistor. Okay, so PNP transistor, the current direction will be in this way, into the transistor like this, and for NPN transistor it will be outside. Okay, so this is your PNP transistor and this is your NPN transistor. So more details about BJT we'll study in the fourth module. In the second module, you have field effect transistor. Okay, so field effect transistor is also a three-terminal device. Okay, it is also a three-terminal device, and again this here, if you just observe, I have emitter, base, collector. In the same way, in the field effect transistor, you will have drain, source, and gate. Drain, source, and gate. Okay, so this is how the field effect transistor will be. So in general, we will represent the symbol as like this. Structure as like this. Structure, it is not the symbol, it is a structure. Okay, so this is your drain, gate, so the center one will be gate here, and this is your source. Okay, so this field effect transistor, so as the name implies, field effect transistor, in the sense like the current through the drain will be controlled by using the electric field or the voltage. Voltage will be applied between gate and source, so that the current through the device or the drain current will be controlled. I'll come again. Field effect transistor, it is a three-terminal device. and it will have drain, source and gate as 3 terminals like this. Okay, so here from the name implies that field effect transistor, the name implies that the current flow through the device or the drain current ID is represented as drain current. The drain current will depend on the electric field. Okay, so by controlling the electric field we'll be able to control the drain current, or specifically if you want to say, by controlling the gate source voltage we'll be able to control the current through the device, or ID current. ID is nothing but the drain current. So this is said to be the voltage controlled device. Field effect transistor is said to be the voltage controlled device. Okay, because by varying the electric field we are able to control the current through the device. So that is the reason this field effect transistors are said to be voltage controlled device. When it comes to the BJT is said to be the current controlled device. Current controlled device, in the sense, based on the input current, the output current through the collector will vary. Okay, so that is the reason this is said to be the current control device. BJT is said to be the current control device, and FET is said to be the voltage controlled device. Okay, so this is the basic difference. Okay, so here what happens is, and one more important difference here is difference between the BJT and FET is, as you know, always the input impedance should be very high for any amplifier circuit you have. See, the BJT can be used as an amplifier circuit, and even FET can be used as an amplifier circuit. But the main advantage with the field effect transistor is the input impedance will be very high in BJT, in FET when compared with BJT. Okay, it means that the input impedance is very high in your field effect transistor when compared with your BJT. This is what the difference. I'll when we will be studying specifically field effect transistor, I'll be showing you how the input impedance is increased. That I'll show you. Okay, so the I have already mentioned one difference. The BJT is the current control device and FET is the voltage control device. That is the first difference, and the second difference is the input impedance is very high. Input impedance is very high for your FET when compared with BJT. This is what the difference between the BJT and FET. Okay, here. So if you want to explain, if you want me to explain in the layman terms, so this is your tap. Okay, and here you have a valve. And what is happening? The water is dropping. And it is collected in the somewhere in the drain. Okay, so now if I want, this is your gate. Okay, and this is your source from where the water is coming, and this is a gate. Okay, and which is nothing but the valve. Okay, so now what I will do, by adjusting this valve, okay, I can control the current flow, water flow can be controlled by using the valve, right? So that is what will happen in day-to-day life. You would have seen this valve. Based on the valve movement, the water will be controlled. Okay, in the same way, how this gate is used, gate is nothing but the valve. Okay, how this valve is used to control the water flow, in the same way this gate terminal is used to control the current through the device. How it's going to happen, we'll see in the further classes. Okay, so the main application of this field effect transistor is as an amplifier. It can be used as an amplifier, it can be used as an oscillator. Okay, we can use for all those applications. Okay, now coming to the types of field effect transistors. Okay, so until now we have seen what is field effect transistor, what is the how many terminals it will have, and what are the terminals called, and what kind of device it is, and what is the major advantage of FET, and what is happening exactly. By controlling the gate voltage, you'll be able to control the current flow. Okay, so that can be that we have seen. And now I'm saying that the field effect transistors are divided into two types. Okay, the first one is junction field effect transistor. Junction field effect transistor, which is said to be JFET. In short, we call it as JFET. And the other one is insulated gate field effect transistor. Field effect transistor. In short, we call it as IGFET, or this is also said to be the MOSFET. Okay, MOSFET means metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. Okay, so the field effect transistors are divided into two types: junction field effect transistor, and other one is MOSFET. Again, this junction field effect transistor is divided into two types: N channel JFET, and the other one is P channel JFET. Okay, N channel JFET and P channel JFET. Okay, coming to the MOSFET. Okay, coming to the MOSFET. MOSFET is divided into two types: depletion type MOSFET, and enhancement type MOSFET. Okay, here we'll be studying all this junction field effect transistor, depletion type MOSFET, enhancement type MOSFET, which is said to be D MOSFET, or this is said to be E MOSFET. In short, we call this as D MOSFET or E MOSFET. Okay, and again, this depletion type MOSFET is divided into two types: N channel D MOSFET, P channel D MOSFET. In the same way, this enhancement type MOSFET is divided into two types: N channel E MOSFET or P channel E MOSFET. You may ask me a question, ma'am, why it is called as N channel or P channel? Okay, so if channel is nothing but a path. Okay, path through which something is flowing. Okay, so that is nothing but the channel. Okay, so here N channel or P channel means the majority of the portion will be that particular element, or like N channel in the sense the current will be flowing due to the electrons. P channel in the sense the current will be flowing due to the holes. Okay, so to the P channel only the current will start flowing. Okay, so that is the reason. If the current is flowing through the P channel where holes are contributing for the current flow, then it is said to be P channel. The channel which is through which the current is flowing due to the electrons, then it is said to be N channel. So specifically, when we go ahead with each type, you will understand it more in more detail. Okay, so just to revise, field effect transistor, it is a 3-terminal device. It consists of drain, source, and gate, or the 3 terminals, and it is a voltage control device. Okay, so by controlling the gate voltage, we'll be able to control the current flowing through the device. Okay, and the input impedance of the field effect transistor is considered to be very high when compared with the BJT, bipolar junction transistor. Okay, and coming to the types of field effect transistor, you have two types. The major two types are junction field effect transistor and MOSFET, or insulated gate field effect transistor. It is mostly available in the form of MOSFET. Okay, so MOSFET, junction field effect, JFET or JFET and MOSFET. Again, JFET is divided into two types: N-channel JFET and P-channel JFET. Coming to the MOSFET, MOSFET is divided into two types: depletion type MOSFET, enhancement type MOSFET. Again, depletion type MOSFET, if the current is flowing due to the electrons, then it is N-channel. If the current is flowing through the holes, it is P-channel. Okay, in the same way, enhancement type as well. So in this module, we will study all different types of field effect transistors and what are silicon control rectifier after completing junction field effect transistor and metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, both the types, depletion type and the enhancement type. We'll go ahead with the silicon control rectifier. Okay, coming to the first one. Okay, junction field effect transistor. Junction field effect transistor. Okay, so first we'll see the construction in the sense how the see, I have told you that PN junction diode, so you'll have a P-type material, both will be brought together like this. So this is your P and this is your N. Okay, so this is what helps to form the diode. Okay, in the same way, how the structure of this junction field effect transistor, JFET, okay, that we need to see now. Okay, so here when it comes to the junction field effect transistor, first we'll see the N-channel JFET. Okay, N-channel JFET. Okay, in the N-channel JFET, first I'll draw the structure. So N-channel, as the name is N-channel, the major contribution in the JFET will be the N-type material. So this is the N-type material. For this N-type material, on both the sides, the P-type material is taken on both the sides. Okay, both the sides of N-channel is having the P-channel on both the sides like this. Okay, this is your P and this is your N. Let me write this in here. This complete one is nothing but N-channel, and on both the sides of this N-channel, we are using the P-channel. P-type material. This is N-type material, and both the sides of this N-type material, we are doping with the N-type. P-type. Okay, so this is your P-type. Okay. So as I've mentioned already, the field effect transistor will have three terminals. Okay, let me name. This is some contact. Okay, so here I have the drain. Here I have the gate, drain, gate, and here I have the source. Okay, so this is how it is constructed. Okay, let me just reiterate once again. So you have N-type material. Okay, N-type material or N-channel, because as I've already mentioned, the current flow here will be due to the electrons in the N-channel. So that is in N-type material, so it is said to be the N-channel. Okay, I'll show you explicitly like how the current is flowing and all. Okay, now what we are doing, we are embedding P type material on both the sides of this N type material. Okay, so if you just observe, this is your P and this is your N. This is your P and this is your N. Okay, so when P and N are brought together, what happens? There will be the depletion region forms. This is how the depletion region will be formed on both the sides. Okay, both the sides you will have the depletion region. Okay, so this is what the construction of JFET. This is how the JFET is constructed. Okay, so it is having the N type, since it is N channel JFET. I am taking the N channel N substrate. Okay, this we can also call it as N substrate. On both the sides of the N substrate, we are embedding with P type material. Since P and N are brought together, there will be the depletion region formed. So the depletion region I'm showing here, this is nothing but the depletion region. This one and this one is nothing but the depletion region. Depletion region. Okay, and this is your drain terminal. This is your drain terminal, and this is your gate terminal, and this is your source. Okay, so these are the three terminals of this JFET. Okay, now we need to study how this is functioning. Okay, so in order to study the function of this N-channel JFET, operation, we study the operation of JFET. Okay, so let me take the N-channel JFET. Little big. This is your N-channel JFET. Okay, on both the sides I have P. I am embedding it with P. So P and N are brought together, so there will be the depletion region formed. Okay, now here I have the gate, and here I have the drain. Drain generally we represent it with D, and here I have the source. Okay, so again, see, if it is like this, it will not be in the operation mode. So in order to make it work, what we need to do, we need to provide additional voltages. That is nothing but the biasing. Okay, so hope you people could remember in the PN junction diode, we have seen biasing in the sense forward biasing and reverse biasing. We have provided additional voltage to the PN junction diode so that the current started flowing. Okay, so that is nothing but the biasing. Okay, here also you need to bias. Okay, so here initially what we'll do is we will connect the gate and source together, and we'll give it to the ground point. In the sense, VGS will be equal to 0 here. The voltage across the gate and the source is equal to 0 initially I'm making VGS is equal to 0. Okay, and then what I'm doing, I'm biasing the drain and source, and the drain is connected to the positive terminal and the source is connected to the negative terminal. Okay, we can write here as either VDS or VDD. Okay, generally in the textbook and all, if you see, it will be VDD only. Either VDS or VDD, it's the same. Okay, VDS or VDD is nothing but the voltage that is applied between the source and the drain. Okay, now let us see the operation. Okay, so what is happening? See, as you know, the majority charge carriers in the N-type material is nothing but the electrons, right? So what happens here? See, if you just observe, this N-type material is connected to the positive terminal. Okay, since it is connected to the positive terminal, what happens? All the electrons which are present here, it will start moving in this direction. The electrons will start moving in this direction. So electrons are moving in this direction. So the current will be in the opposite direction. See, from the source to drain, the electrons are moving. Okay, so electrons are moving in this direction. So the current flow will be in this direction from drain to source. Okay, anyway, I'll not represent the electron flow. I'll just represent the current flow. So the current will be flowing in this direction from drain to source. Okay, this is how the current is flowing. ID current is flowing in this direction. Okay, and here, as I've already mentioned, this N channel, this is said to be N channel because the current is flowing due to the electrons here. Okay, electrons, due to the movement of electrons, the current is flowing. Okay, so this is said to be the N channel. Through this only it is moving. So this is said to be the N channel JFET. Okay, so here what is happening, as you increase VDS, okay, as you increase VDS, from 0 I'm just increasing for 0, 0.1, 0.3, 1, 2, 3, like that I'm increasing. Okay, as I'm increasing, what is happening, the electrons, more and more electrons will start flowing. Okay, because of that the current ID will increase. Okay, so let me just draw the characteristics. These characteristics are said to be the drain characteristics. Drain characteristics. Okay, drain characteristics. Here VDD or VDS, however, whichever you feel comfortable, but in general it will be represented as VDD only. Okay, VDD versus ID. Okay, so as you are increasing VDD, what is happening? The current will start increasing in this way. Okay, so come back here, and if you observe, see, this N is connected to positive and P is connected to negative. Okay, indirectly P is connected to negative. So what happens? What happens? N is connected to positive and P is connected to negative. What happens here? Will it be forward biased or reverse biased? Will it be forward biased or reverse biased? N is connected to positive terminal and P is connected to negative terminal. What happens here? It will be forward biased or reverse biased?
Reverse.
Reverse biased. So since it is reverse biased, as you are increasing the voltage, okay, VDS, as you are increasing the voltage, more and more negative voltage is applied. So what happens? The depletion region will start increasing. Okay, but here the increase will not be even like this. See, around this P, it will not be even. Okay, even in the sense everywhere, this side, everywhere it should be same. But here what is happening? It is not same. Okay, it is not. The depletion region is not increasing. In the width of the depletion region is not same towards the upside and towards the downside, towards the drain and towards the source. But it will be like this. Uneven increase will be there in the depletion region. Okay, this is how it will be towards the source. This side it is source. Towards the source, the depletion region will be thin. Towards the drain, the depletion region will be more. Okay, the reason behind this is, I'll explain you the reason behind this. Okay, so the reason behind this is, say this complete field effect transistor, it is considered to provide uniform resistance. Okay, uniform resistance in the sense, if this is a channel, so whatever resistance I have here, the same resistance should be here also, the same resistance should be here also, the same resistance should be here also. Everywhere it has to provide uniform resistance. It has to provide uniform resistance. Let me draw the diagram in this way. Uniform resistance. R. I'm taking same resistance. This is one resistor with value R. 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 Okay. So now what we are doing, we are connecting it to the voltage. Some voltage. Let me name that voltage as 2 volts. Let me name that voltage as 2 volts. Since the resistance values are same, the voltage drop across each resistor will be same. Like here it will be 0.5 volts, here it will be 0.5 volts, here also it will be 0.5 volts, and here also it will be 0.5 volts. Okay, since uniform resistance, everywhere the voltage will be same. Okay, so 2 volts. This 2 volts will get divided equally across all the resistors. Okay, that is what it means. So everywhere, as an example, I am taking as 2 volts. Okay, so now what happens? This is what the ground terminal. So with respect to this ground point, this voltage will be 0.5 volts. With respect to this ground point, this voltage will be this plus this. So it will be 1 volt. With respect to this ground point, this voltage will be 1.5 volts. With respect to this ground point, this voltage will be 2 volts. Here, exactly at this point, it will be 2 volts. So if you just observe, here it is 0.5 volts, here it is 1 volt, here it is 1.5 and here it is 2 volts. So as you can see, the voltage, the reverse voltage towards the drain, this is your drain and this is your source. Towards the drain, it is more. Okay, so that is the reason this unevenly depletion region, unevenly the depletion region is increasing. Okay, so that is the reason towards the source you have very small depletion region, whereas towards the drain it is more. Okay, now as you increase your VDS, okay, continuously you are increasing this VDS, what happens? This depletion region will be increasing only, and at a particular point what happens? These two depletion regions will coincide with each other. This point where the depletion region is coinciding with each other is said to be the pinch off voltage. Pinch off voltage, which is denoted with Vp. Okay, at a particular voltage, as you are increasing VDS, what happens at a particular voltage? What will happen? The both the depletion regions will coincide with each other. Okay, so that voltage at which this is happening is said to be the pinch off voltage. Okay, but practically, ideally it should happen like this. But practically, what happens? It will not coincide. It will have very small passage. Okay, it will stop at this point. Okay, further, even though you are increasing your VDS, this depletion regions will not coincide, because if this depletion region coincide with each other, what happens? The total current through the device will be zero, because there is no path now. Before there was a path for the electrons to move from source to drain, but now at the pinch off there won't be any path for the electrons to flow from source to drain. Okay, so that is the reason what will happen here. The current through the device will be completely zero. Okay, so practically this will not happen, and what happens? It will stop at that particular point. Okay, now I'll have a small passage for the electrons to flow from source to drain. So that is the reason what happens. As you are increasing your VDS, the current will slowly increase, and at pinch off voltage, the current will be constant. Okay, so this is said to be the pinch off voltage. Okay, this is said to be the pinch off voltage at VGS is equal to 0 volts. At VGS is equal to 0 volts. So these are the characteristics when VGS is equal to 0 volts. How I am saying VGS is equal to 0 volts? Because here I am just directly connecting gate and source to ground point. So that is the reason the VGS value there is equal to 0. Okay, the VGS value there is equal to 0. Now, this is when VGS is equal to 0. Now what I will do? I will not make VGS is equal to 0, but I will provide some voltage there. This is again N type. On both the sides I have P type. Depletion region will be formed. Then here I'll have the gate terminal. Here I'll have the drain, and here I'll have the here I have the source. This is how it is constructed. Okay, now before first case, this I'll name it as first case, case 1. Case 1 when VGS is equal to 0. Now what I'll do, I will not make VGS is equal to 0, but I'll provide some voltage. VGS I'll give as minus 1 volt. Okay, minus 1 volt. Negative voltages. Okay, negative voltage in the sense this will be connected to negative and this will be connected to positive, and again between the source, drain and source, I'll provide the voltage like this, VDS or VDD or VDD. Okay, now if you observe, P is connected to negative and N is connected to positive. So what happens? The reverse biasing will be there. So compared to when VGS is equal to 0, in case 2, the depletion region will be more when compared with when VGS is equal to 0. Okay, let me, I'll take different color pen. Okay, maybe this might be the depletion region when VGS is equal to 0. Now when I'm providing negative voltage, the depletion region is increasing. Okay, VGS is given some negative value. The depletion region is still more because it is getting more negative voltage. In this sense, the P is connected to more negative voltage here. So that is the reason what will happen. The depletion region will be more. More the depletion region, the current will be less. Okay, the current through this channel will be less when compared with VGS is equal to 0. So the characteristics will be in this way. When VGS is equal to some negative voltage, your characteristics will be the current will be less. VGS is equal to -1 volt. So the current will be less when compared with your VGS is equal to 0. And here also the pinch off condition will occur. Here also the pinch off condition will occur. Okay, so at the pinch off condition, the current will be constant. VGS is equal to -1 volt. Again, VGS is equal to -2 volt. Again, VGS is equal to -3 volts. Like that until VGS is equal to -VP. VP is nothing but the pinch off voltage. Pinch off voltage in the sense. So here that will be the maximum. That will be the maximum point, maximum voltage. Okay, where that both the depletion regions will coincide. Okay, when both the depletion regions are coinciding, the current will be there won't be any current flow. Okay, so this region is said to be the cutoff region. Below the pinch off, it is said to be the cutoff region, and this region is said to be the saturation region. Saturation region. Saturation region, and here it is said to be the ohmic region. Ohmic region. Okay, it is said to be ohmic region because as your VGS is increasing, the current through the device is decreasing. Okay, current is decreasing, so the resistance is increasing. Okay, since the resistance is increasing, that's the reason the current is decreasing. Okay, so this region is said to be the ohmic region. Okay, so because as the current as the voltage is increasing, as the VGS value is increasing, the current through the device is decreasing. Okay, current is decreasing, it means that the resistance there is increasing. So this region from here to here, it is said to be the this region, this portion from here to here, it is said to be the ohmic region. Okay, so these are the characteristics of your N-channel JFET. Characteristics of your N-channel JFET, and specifically these are the drain characteristics. Okay, and here I have told you that as VGS is increasing, the current through the device is decreasing. Okay, so in the ohmic region, the resistance RD. In ohmic region, there is some resistance, right? So that resistance is denoted as RD. Okay, RD is equal to, it is given as R0 divided by, here the derivation how we are getting this equation is not necessary for us. We have to just learn the equation. You have to remember this equation. Okay, R0. So R0 is nothing but the resistance at VGS is equal to 0. Okay, I'll write here. R0 is nothing but resistance when VGS is equal to 0 volts. Okay, so that is here R0. VGS will be given, and VP for any particular JFET will be given by the manufacturer. Okay, manufacturer will tell you that this is what the pinch off voltage of your JFET. Okay, so that will be given by the manufacturer. Okay, and these are all related to the drain characteristics. Coming to the transfer characteristics. transfer characteristics. It is like again VGS versus ID graph. So here when VGS is equal to 0, I'll get the maximum current. Okay, if you just observe, when VGS is equal to 0, I've got the maximum current. As VGS is decreasing, negative voltage -1, -2, -3. So here you'll have -1, -2, -3, -1, -2, -3 like this. Okay, so as you're giving the negative voltages, as you're increasing VGS, what is happening? The current is decreasing. The current is decreasing. That's the reason you're draining. And at VGS is equal to VP, you will have zero current. Okay, so that is what this characteristics are said to be the transfer characteristics. Okay, and in general, to calculate the ID current, we have one expression. ID is equal to IDSS into 1 minus VGS by VP whole square. All these formulas are important for us to solve the numericals. Okay, so ID is equal to IDSS into 1 minus VGS by VP whole square. You may ask me, what is IDSS? IDSS is nothing but the drain saturation current, maximum drain saturation current. I'll go back to the characteristics. Okay, so this is what the maximum current I'll be getting. So this current is nothing but IDSS current. Okay, maximum current when VGS is equal to 0 volts. Okay, when VGS is equal to 0 volts, we are getting the maximum current. That current is nothing but IDSS current. Okay, so based on this we have some problems. Based on this equation we have some problems. We'll see it later. And we should also find the input resistance. Input resistance in the sense, here gate, at the gate you are giving the input. Okay, so your input resistance Ri will be equal to VGS divided by IG. VGS divided by IG. Based on this, in the last question paper, they have given one sum which is for 4 marks. They have given VGS, they have given IG, and they were just asking you Ri. Okay, this is what they have given for 4 marks. Okay, so input impedance here, this is where you are giving the input voltage. So this to calculate the input resistance, it is given by VGS, voltage across the device, divided by current IG. And if you observe, since it is reverse biased, the current through this will be very less. IG current will be very less. It will be in nano amperes. Okay, generally it will be in nano amperes. So that is the reason Ri will be more. Okay, Ri will be very more. Ri is nothing but the input impedance or input resistance. Okay, it will be very high. Okay, so that is what the advantage of JFET here. Okay, so I will come again. Here you need to calculate the resistance, RD resistance in the ohmic region, because as you are increasing the VGS voltage, the current is dropping. Okay, since the current is dropping, the resistance is increasing. Okay, so that RD can be calculated by using the formula which I have given here. Using this, you'll be able to find RD for different VGS values. For different VGS values, they may give R0 also, they may give VGS also, and then they may also give VP, and they may ask you to find the RD at that particular VGS value. So using this, you should be able to find out the drain resistance. Okay. Next. Current through the device. ID is nothing but the current flowing through the device. This ID also we need to calculate. So for that I have another formula. ID is equal to IDSS into 1 minus VGS by VT. Okay, so here what they'll do is they may give IDSS. IDSS is nothing but the current through the JFET when VGS is equal to 0. Okay, when VGS is equal to 0. Or I'll just show you here, let VGS is equal to 0. So what happens here, ID will be equal to IDSS into 1 minus 0 by VP whole square. So 1 minus 0 will be equal to 1 only. 1 square will be 1 only. So ID will be equal to IDSS. Okay, so IDSS is nothing but the current through the JFET when VGS is equal to 0 volts. Okay, so that is what your IDSS, and VGS they'll give, and they'll also give you VP. They may ask you calculate ID current for this particular VGS. Okay, and they'll provide you IDSS and VP. Okay, and here we should also find out what is the input impedance. Input impedance is given by VGS, whatever voltage you are applying across the gate and source, that is given by VGS divided by current through the gate terminal. The current through the gate terminal. So current through the gate terminal will be very less because there is a depletion region. Since there is a depletion region, and as you are increasing VDS, what is happening? The depletion region is increasing. So the current IG will be very less, and it will be in nano amperes. In general, it will be in nano amperes. So what they'll do is they may give VGS value, they may give IG value, and they may ask you to calculate RI. Okay, in the recent question paper only they have given. They gave VGS is equal to minus 20 volts and minus 2 volts. VGS is equal to minus 2 volts, and IG current they have given us minus 2 nano amperes. Minus 2 nano amperes. This is what the values they have given, and they have asked to calculate RI. So in that case, here RI will be equal to what? RI will be equal to VGS. VGS is minus 2 divided by IG. IG is minus 2 nano. Nano in this is 10 power minus 9. They have given 20 volts. So 20. So 2 ones are 2 tens are. This negative sign will get cancelled. So 10 into 10 power 9. Or I can write it as 10 power 10 ohms. RI input impedance is 10 power 10 ohms. For this, if you solve this, you'll get 4 marks directly. Okay, so this is all related to the N-channel JFET. Okay, now I'll just brief you how the P-channel JFET will be. P-channel JFET.